All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started with Sakamoto Days because I gotta head out directly after this. Let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here, and welcome back to more Sakamoto Days. We got chapter 255, and it looks like we're not going on break either. In the last chapter, we had basically Mr. Shishiba going up against Gozu, and Gozu thinking like, oh, I'm supercharged, I'll be able to take you down, until even after Shishiba gets, kind of handled just a little bit, Shishiba comes out on top by not only allowing Gozu to use up the last of his electricity, but also just stabbing him straight through the chest before Gozu could even respond. So let's see what happens with Days 255 just a little bit now. And it cuts to Gozu, who drops to his knees, with the sword still in his chest, mind you, and Shishiba's just standing over him, just looking at him.
I can't die now. Kei needs me by his side. I have to support him.
And while he's thinking of the back of Uzuki, of Kei Uzuki, Shishiba, he pictures all those people of Alkamar around him. And we see Kumanomi, we see Kei, we see Haruma, we see Gaku. We have, what is his name? What is this, I forgot the dude's name. I forgot the dude's name that has like the bow. And of course, everyone else that followed Uzuki.
Don't be mad. I'll be right there. I'm just a little tired. Just gotta recharge a little. Be right there.
And the next scene we get is, well, Gozu just laying down in a pool of blood with the sword still sticking through his chest, and Shishiba's gone. And since Shishiba was the one who says, like, hey, if you don't make sure that you confirm the kill, then you're not a good assassin. And, well, Shishiba's gone, so that means he confirmed the kill and Gozu's dead. And then we get people on the outside going,
Hey, look! The castle stopped glowing!
And the glow from the castle that was charged up and powered by Gozu starts to fully go dark, as Shishiba hasn't left! He actually hasn't left. He's just sitting there, right next to Gozu.
Gozu, you are a real pain in the butt. You're not the type who gets fired up on your own behalf. You and I kinda alike. Why am I remembering that now?
And then all of a sudden, hold on, sirens. And then all of a sudden, Shishiba starts coughing up blood, and he slumps over. Yeah, he slumps over, and he falls over.
Oh, guess I'm way past my limit too. Figures. Osaragi.
And he starts laughing to himself.
Looking back, the two of us did a lot of killing together. I'm definitely going to hell.
Mr. Shishiba, the gods of killing hate you.
And then Shishiba's just laying there thinking,
like I didn't already know. I know, but... gods of killing. Look after her for me. Please. Do me a favor.
And then the next two panels is just literally all black, with just do me a favor in one, and then it's just dark on the other. Oh, and Shishiba is just in a very highly detailed panel, just full page panel. Shishiba is just laying there, eyes closed, as his phone starts ringing. And it continues to ring. And it's Osaragi trying to call him. And he continues to lay there. And then someone goes, as usual, you look bored stiff. And it's Yotsumura! It's Yotsumura! And he has Osaragi over his shoulder. He's getting the both of them. Osaragi is down and out because she got poisoned. And Shishiba's looking up at Yotsumura, who's just chilling looking at him. I had a feeling it was gonna be Yotsumura.
As usual, you look bored stiff.
And Yotsumura is standing right over here with Osaragi. and he's the one who was calling him.
Go to hell. This is my resting face. Oh, Osaragi. Your partner made it. Barely, though. Let's see your wounds. I'll treat them. Why?
And then Yotsumura just starts ripping off fabric in order to take care of Shishiba.
Reminds me of old times. What? You're gonna use a bandage to cut with your teeth? That's not sanitary. Look, I already cut it, okay? Let's not waste it. Ugh, no.
Enough! Move! I'll do it! And it's Amane! Amane is here! Mr. Shishiba, don't move! Your heartbeat might be irregular because of the electric shocks. Hey, Pops, give me a fresh bandage and water!
Amane? You found him?
Yeah, my dad told me about you, Mr. Shishiba. And about my mom. And because, remember, this was all pretty much a secret from Amane up until this point.
I see.
What I want to know is, how come you didn't come find me as soon as the JAA collapsed?
I told you already. I didn't.
Sorry about that, everyone. Fire alarm went off, but we're good. But back to Amane. Don't worry, I'll cut this in pieces. What I want to know is, how come you didn't come find me as soon as the JAA collapsed?
I told you already. I didn't know how to face you. I'm sorry. I won't ever disappear on you again.
And Yotsumura just goes over to his son. And Amane gets tears in his eyes. Stupid old man.
Mr. Yotsumura, I think I finally understand what you were saying. Just a little bit. What? Sometimes there's stuff you can only find in a messy room.
And then Shishiba just lays back. And then we see Osaragi. Oh! And now we're going back to the school! Because we have multiple points of impact. Multiple points of impact. The ground is broken all over the place. And then we have Kipe going,
hey, Seba, let's call it quits. If you don't struggle, you won't suffer. You can't hold out long with those wounds.
And there's also blood over the place as well. Because Seba, you know, the brother of Mafuyu, he's the only one still standing while Mafuyu's on the ground.
You can't hold out long with those wounds.
Big bro. And then we just have Seba, who's still standing in order to face off against Kipe. And Kipe still doesn't have a scratch on him. So like I was thinking, like I said, we're gonna go back to the school. This is where the chapter ends. We were gonna go back to the school, and then once the Saionji twins were taken care of, then we'd have to deal with Tanabata versus Shin, and that would be everyone from the Order and everyone from the Order, with the only person left from Uzuki's group being Uzuki now, because now Gozu's down. So after the Saionji twins get taken care of, after the Saionji twins get taken care of, then it's just Tanabata, and then it's Uzuki. And this is where we end. So I'm going to bring this to a close because I really got to go. Overall, I thought this was a fairly decent end for Gozu. I knew he was going to die. I knew he was going to die. But also, Shishiba looking like he was content with dying before Mr. Yotsumura just shows up out of nowhere and proceeds to be all like, yeah, you look so dead stiff right now. Like, kind of poking fun at him while he has Osaragi over his shoulder. And then, of course, we have Amane, who is finally able to reunite with his dad. And he's all like, well, how come you didn't come find me when the JAA collapsed? He was all like, I didn't know how to face you. But don't worry, I won't ever disappear from you again. So at least he has his dad on his side, and considering that Yotsumura was one of the founders of the Order, and along with Kendaka, those jokers, despite their age, are ridiculously strong. Kendaka being basically the Flash, and Yotsumura being as close to Old Man Takamura in the Order as anyone can be outside of Sakamoto. Those two dudes still being alive after all this time? Yeah, that's pretty substantial. But overall, Shishiba being tended to means that he's going to live along with Osaragi. Just barely, but barely is more than enough for these assassins to be able to survive. So with that going on, Shishiba was really resounding himself to dying because he knew, like, yeah, I'm about to die, so, oh well. But Yotsumura's all like, yeah, I'm not letting you die. It's not time. You're still alive, so let me just treat your wounds. He's all like, yeah, don't bite the bandage with your teeth. That's unsanitary. He's all like, get over it. So, and then Shishiba says, sometimes there's stuff you can only, I think I finally understand what you were saying just a little bit. Sometimes there's stuff you can only find in a messy room. Now, that analogy, actually, I remember that analogy because he was talking to him about that before Yotsumura got pinned as basically like one of the co-conspirators trying to, conspire against the JAA and that its former chairman before Asaki came over and tried to take over for himself. So this is a callback to the conversation they had where, Shishiba was getting used to Yotsumura and learning about him and also learning about Amane and the wife that basically, it's so messed up that Amane was born just to be used as leverage against Yotsumura so that the coalition or whatever group was trying to take over the JAA could use that against him. Literally, his wife bore him a son just so she could use the son against him. That's the only reason why Amane was born, which is messed up when you think about it. But now that Amane knows the truth, it's not like, oh, he's going to resent me forever. I mean, he's still going to poke fun at his dad, but at least his dad is there. So overall, with Shishiba being tended to and Osaragi being tended to, these two individuals will continue to live. Cause this chapter ends with us finally getting back to the Saionji twins. And like I said, Kippei is completely unscathed as he's using his big old mace to beat up on Seba and Mafuyu. Mafuyu is just laying on the ground, while Seba is still standing to, as they said, let's do our jobs as older brothers to protect our younger siblings. He's still standing, but he's definitely hurt because he's got blood all over his face, blood out of his nose and mouth, and he's sweating very hard. He looks disheveled, while Kippei looks as if he hasn't broken a sweat at all. Overall, I cannot wait for the next chapter. And like I said, this chapter the series is not going on break, which means we get to see what happens when Kippei goes up against Seba and see if we can actually draw blood from Kippei. Because Kippei, out of the Saionji twins, is the stronger of the two. Sheena is the loose cannon, but also the one who's kind of distracted enough where she can get blindsided. Kippei is basically the very, very strong one. So overall, I can't wait to see what happens when pretty much a person who says, I need to go beyond strength in order to break this wall that requires utmost strength to break. I need to go beyond strength and just casually put a hole in the building. Can't wait to see what happens when he's pushed to a point where he actually really where he's either going to get desperate and get even more rage-filled, or I just want to see what all this dude can do, because his entire disposition during this entire altercation has been one of nonchalance and almost as if nothing bothers him at all. At all. And he still has that same face. But we're just going to have to find out in the next chapter. Can't wait to see it. But I said everything that I needed to say. I'm looking forward to this fight. And let's see if Kippei has some other hidden moves he has up his sleeve, and maybe even Seba as well, because once we get past the Saionji twins, all we have is Shin and Tanabata, and once that's done, all we have is Sakamoto and Uzuki, and when that's over, then we are done. There's no other foes to face. Nobody else. Everyone from Alkmaar has officially been bodied. Every person from Alkmaar is gone, except for... What is that dude's name? What is that dude name with the bow and arrow? I forget his name. What is his name? Hold on. I need to find his name. Tenkyu. I was thinking, it's not Tenryu. It's something, it was a 10 and then U, but I couldn't remember the actual letter. But it's Tenkyu. Tenkyu is the only person who is still alive as far as we know. Even though one of his eyes has been gouged out by Shin, he's the only one who has the capacity to be able to make a comeback. Everyone else has been bodied or they're dead right now. So who knows if Tenkyu's going to show up. But as of right now, everyone from Alkmaar has been bodied, incapacitated, or no longer a threat. So we'll have to see if the next chapter gives us the Saionji twins. And maybe in the future we'll see Tenkyu again. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Overall, pretty decent chapter. I'm very much looking forward to the next one because Kippei versus Seba is one I've been looking forward to for many months. I feel like it's been many months since we left the school and focused on everyone else and Sakamoto getting back up again. So I'm really glad we're going right back to the school after this chapter. So we'll have to see next week. But I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. if you haven't already, even consider supporting me on membership here on YouTube and Patreon on Patreon, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!